Okay, let me go back to this the penultimate scene here, Act Five, Scene Two, where Othello is has decided to kill Desdemona. I mean, this is an amazing early soliloquy. It's one of the most stunning moments in theater, frankly, if it's done well, and it ties so many different themes together: the iconophobia, the tension between reason and passion, and just simply very real human emotions. Act 5, Scene 2. Othello, it is the cause, my soul, let me not name it to you, you chase stars. And again, Othello, what he does here by saying it is the cause, he's saying it's not Desdemona, it's the crime. Don't blame the person, blame the crime. It is the cause. He is trying to, in other words, strange as it sounds, depersonalize the execution of his own wife. He is moving himself away from a loving Christian husband into the role of a detached, legalistic executioner. Yet I'll not shed her skin, nor scar that whiter skin of hers than snow. And of course, the difference between skin pigmentation has been a critical element of this play throughout. But let's pay particular attention to this imagery. I'll not shed her blood, nor scar that whiter skin of hers than snow, as smooth as monumental alabaster. That's a very specific image, right? Desdemona in Othello's mind is akin to a statue, frankly, of the Virgin Mary. You know, if you grew up on the east side of Detroit like I did, or someplace, you know, I used to see these things all over the place. You know, the in the gardens, in the back of 3-bedroom brick ranches. You know, statues, alabaster or some fake alabaster stone of the Virgin Mary. And they were popular, of course, Catholic Christian Europe, but they were one of these icons that reformers came to detest. You know, you don't need statues to worship. But in Othello's imagination, that's what Desdemona is, right? She's this icon, this image, this statue, not just of woman, but of the Catholic Christian God, right? Uh, so he doesn't want to do this, but he says she must die, else she'll betray more men. Put out the light, and he quenches a candle there, and then put out the light, meaning her soul. If I quench thee, he says of the candle, thou flaming minister, I can again thy former light restore, should I repent me. But once put out thy light, he says back to Desdemona, thou cunningest pattern of excelling nature, I know not where is that Promethean heat that thy light can relume. When I have plucked thy rose, I cannot give it vital growth again. It needs must wither. I'll smell thee on the tree. And this is again this extraordinary moment. She's asleep, where he leans in to kiss her. And when he gets that close to her, again, his passions, his real love takes over. O balmy breath that doth almost persuade justice to break her sword. Again, when Othello gives himself into sort of authentic feelings, he gets close to the truth. It's when he tries to act what we would call rationally or reasonably or dispassionately that he makes mistakes. There's, by the way, a great scene in John Milton's Paradise Lost, the epic poem. It's going to be written about 100 years from when this play was written, wherein Milton depicts the events of Genesis, the events of Adam and Eve, and he depicts the serpent looking into the Garden of Eden, seeing Eve. She's so stunningly beautiful and pure, not just beautiful in a romantic way, beautiful in a way that she illuminates the divine, that even Satan for a second hesitates before going on to kill. Or not going on to kill, before going on to tempt Adam and Eve. One more, be thus when thou art dead, and I will kill thee and love thee after. One more, and that's the last. He kisses her again. Um, and there's kind of a strange necromancy here too, of course. You know, in Shakespeare's imagination, this sort of frames what's often called the Madonna whore complex. You know, women are either in the Catholic Christian imagination, or either sort of perfect Madonnas, you know, perfect angelic Virgin Marys, not real people, in other words, or they are whores. And we kind of see that in this play, that sort of split. He says, this sours heavenly, it strikes where it doth love. Again, what Othello's doing here is actually reimagining this as an execution, something called for by divine justice. And we've seen this before with Shakespeare. We saw it in Merchant of Venice, where Shylock, his sort of bond with Antonio is refigured in a strange way as a call by divine justice to give death. And she wakes up, and we have this sort of extraordinary scene where she resists it. And finally, Othello screams, lines 67 of this Act 5, Scene 2, "Thou dost stone my heart and makes me call what I intend to do a murder." In other words, you're making me upset, right? You're making me think of this as personal, which I thought this is sacrifice. And then he goes back, "I saw the handkerchief." Um, and anyways, this powerful, disturbing scene ends. Desdemona just popped back up a couple times in sort of early modern form to announce, her killer, or to make clear, at least to Amelia, that it was Othello who killed her. But this is an extraordinary scene.